So Jesus has above his head INRI. Ioannis, what is it? Something.
I can't remember.
Jesus Nazarene Rex.
King of the Jews.
Yeah. What's Jews? Judea. Right? And you're like, it's a bit weird, that, isn't it? And it says in the Bible, this was a crack at this, that I discovered this one. It said it could be read by both the Romans and the Jews. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And then I thought, well, what if I take Hebrew gematria, Hebrew numbers, and transpose them into Latin? So I did. And ladies and gentlemen, I got fuck all out of it. And then I looked at it again, and then I just added the numbers together, and it added up to 25,920.
Right. So, no, go through that process again. So you're taking the INRI.
So taking INRI,
which is Hebrew? Latin?
No, it's Latin.
Latin.
And then it was said in the Bible that it could be read by both the Jews and the Romans. So I've pretended those numbers, with those letters, stroke numbers, were Hebrew instead of being Latin.
Right.
So I can't remember the bloody Hebrew letters after so much.
That's all right. And then you added them up.
I either added them or multiplied them, and it actually came up to 259200 is what it came up to. So I must have multiplied them. But yeah, 259200. You can just ignore those zeros, but that's what it ended up at.
That's wild,
isn't it?
Yes.
I can happily send you the maths. In fact, it's on a previous slide somewhere.
The other thing that confuses me with gematria is there are different ways of using it.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And I think there's a real danger of reading too much into gematria.
Yes. I don't like to use things for divination systems.
No.
If you're going to tap into that stuff, there's other ways of doing it that are better than just how many letters are in your name and things like that.
Anyway, do we need to go back or forward?
I think we've gone. Just go back just to see where we are. Yeah, we've been
just on this one.
We've done that.
So we'll go forward. Yes. Let's skip this one.
That's fine. So I'm just showing. No, go on. You horrible person. So there's our Saturn square in a 5x5, and as you'd pointed out in a previous episode, if we look at the arms of that swastika, it says Satan and Rotas, which is kind of getting at Satan is Saturn. Rotas is the wheels, the wheels of Saturn. And if you connect that outside line, so let's say bottom left-hand corner of that square, if we connect that bottom left-hand corner up to the centre of the N, in the very centre of the square, that would make a 3-4-5 triangle. Not only that, there are two other ways of doing it here. One of them is how the fish is on one of these pillars. So that the fish there is from the pillar. So that's one way of doing it, and you get a 3-4-5 triangle out of it by drawing two curves, two arcs with a compass.
An arc, like a sacred geometry, Masonic type of method.
Yeah, and you can see that's a 3-4-5 because it's got 3 there, 4 there, and you just imply the 5 from it. And again, in the centre there. So, and somebody very kindly drew me a few clues about where to draw that because they've drawn these lines on the outside with holes on them. So they
so that's like a reference. Yeah. They've like given you a reference point on the pillar.
Mm-hmm. I would also like to say, however, I'm not revealing it here, is the one thing I've saved from my book, that in the same way that I translated those Hebrew letters into Jewish, Hebrew letters into Latin, you do the same for the letters on the Saturn square. Oh, so you treat some of them as if they're Hebrew, some of them as if they're Latin. I'm not going to go into it too much detail, but then you get all these numbers again.
Wow. Do you know you've drawn a 90-degree arc and a 180-degree arc on that fish?
Oh, cool, yeah, cool.
I
didn't really think about it like that, but yeah.
So have you put your compass point here?
Yeah.
In the corner and then cast an arc this way?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's 180, and then there's
a
bigger
there,
90 degree. It wouldn't work with another. You wouldn't get that triangle with a different.
They have to be 180 and 90. You can see if you sort of step back, you can see
the fish. Yeah.
You can see the semicircle there. at the top, can't you? And then a 90-degree curve.
180 is 9. 90 is 9.
Yeah.
And 180 plus 90 is 270, which is 9.
Excellent.
Cool. There you go.
Move on.
And here's some very old versions, and we've even got that the Tauro PX thing going on there, and it's just all these things, next to each other.
And is that another Saturn square there?
That's the same one. That's the same one as we just saw in the last image. Yeah, these are just all in context next to each other. Right. So we got this cross of the earth, and we got the cross of the sky there, with the two little W tails at the bottom, showing you that it's on the unconscious and the super conscious, and all these things that we've talked about for 8 hours so far. And there you go. It's all coming together now.
Nice.
It's these somehow the keys to time unlock something fundamental about the universe, and we've talked about it over these last few episodes.